So this recording is going to be on section 4.7, parliamentary procedures, and section 4.8, which is stress. So the objective is to know how to conduct a meeting following the basic principles of a parliamentary procedure. As part of Act 13, you will participate in meetings. A parliamentary procedure can be defined as a set of rules or guidelines that determine the conduct and order followed during a meeting. It's based on three principles: the right of the majority to rule, the right of the minority to be heard, and the right of the individual to be heard and represented. Like when you have staff meetings at work, more than likely it will not be a parliamentary procedure. This will be more for a committee, maybe, or like when the city council meets, they probably use a procedure similar to this. We have a standard agenda for a parliamentary procedure. And the first is the call to order, and that basically just starts the meeting. Next, the roll is taken by the secretary. So the secretary will write down who is attending the meeting. The minutes of the previous meeting will be given. So it'll be basically will be discussed, or the secretary will talk about what was discussed in the previous meeting. Oops, I had that down twice. The treasurer's report as how much money the committee has. The report of the officers. If any of the officers have anything to report, then this is when they would do it. The standing committee reports. If they have any subcommittees within that meeting group, they would report. Any special committee reports, again, it would be the same thing, just called special committees. Any unfinished business. So at this time, they would discuss any business that was not finished during the previous meeting. New business is new business that is brought to the attention of the committee or the meeting. Program and or announcements. Any announcements that need to be made will be done at that time. And then the adjournment is the close of the meeting. They have procedure motion. So motion allows an order of business to be introduced in an official manner. A member makes a motion to present an idea or a proposal to the committee. Another member seconds the motion to express support for the discussion, and then the motion is discussed. After it's discussed, the members will then vote to pass or fail the motion. So there's four types of motions. There's the main motion, and it introduces the topic to the members for their consideration. It cannot be made when there is another motion on the floor for consideration. A subsidiary motion, the purpose of this is to change or affect how the main motion is handled. It must be seconded, so somebody must say, I second this, and adopted before the voting can occur on the main motion. A privileged motion is one that is urgent and important, and then an incidental motion allows a member to question the procedures concerning other motions. It must be considered before voting on the main motion also. So there's, I think, 4 different ways you can vote. A voice vote is when people say yay or nay, or yes or no to a motion. There's a roll call where they will, your name will be called, and then you say yes or no. A general consent, and that's used pretty much as a given that everybody will agree to it. And then a division is when they actually, a division is when somebody, when your name is called, or not when your name is called, but you would raise your hand or you would stand up if you agree with the motion or not. And then the ballot is when they put your vote on a piece of paper and put it into a ballot box. There's basic member guidelines when you're part of a meeting like this. You want to wait until the last speaker has finished. Wait until the chairperson recognizes you before speaking out loud. Speak in a clear and concise manner to present your opinion. Stay on the motion or topic being discussed. Avoid personal attacks on opinions of others. Direct your comments to the chairperson. And direct your comments to the chairperson and general membership, not to another individual in the group. Respect and follow the time limit that has been established for each speaker, and obey the rules of debate. So currently, the WASO city council meetings are videotaped and posted. So those would be a good one to watch to see how a parliamentary procedure is done. And you can also evaluate to see whether the member guidelines are followed or not, because sometimes they're not. And then another one is to respect the right of others that have opposing opinions. So section 4.8 is on stress, something that most everyone knows about. The objectives is to differentiate between positive and negative stressors by identifying an emotional response to each type, and to list 6 ways to eliminate or decrease stress. So stress is the body's reaction to any stimulus that requires a person to adjust to a changing environment. Again, it can be a positive or a negative stress. Change initiates stress. Stressors are the stimuli to change. They alter behavior or adapt to a situation. It can be situations, events, or concepts. Stressors can also be external or internal forces. A heart attack is an internal stressor. A new job is an external stressor. So your body's response to stress, no matter what the cause, a stressor will cause the body to go into alarm or warning mode, frequently called the fight or flight reaction because of the physical changes. When the warning is received from a stressor, when the warning is received from a stressor, the sympathetic nervous system prepares the body for action. So adrenaline is a hormone from the adrenal gland, and it is released to the bloodstream. Blood vessels to the heart and brain dilate to increase blood circulation to these areas. Blood vessels to the skin and other internal organs constrict, resulting in cool skin, decreased movement in the digestive tract, and a decrease in the production of urine. Pupils in the eyes dilate to improve vision. Saliva production decreases and the mouth becomes dry. The heart beats faster, blood pressure rises, and respiratory rate increases. These actions all help provide the body with a burst of energy and the stamina needed to respond to the stressor. After the individual responds to the stressor and adapts to changes as needed, the parasympathetic nervous system causes opposite reactions in the body. Results in fatigue or exhaustion while the body recuperates. If the body is subjected to continual stress with constant up and down nervous system reactions, the normal functions of the body will be disrupted. So this is why, like after maybe exams or a great big test, you become very tired afterwards, or sometimes you get sick because your immune system is run down a little bit due to the stress. Here's just a picture of what stress can do to the body. You have short-term effects and long-term effects. The body's response after stress, it can result in a serious illness or disease. Many diseases have stress-related origins, such as migraine headaches, anxiety reactions, depression, allergies, asthma, digestive disorders, hypertension, insomnia, and heart disease. All can be caused by stress. Everyone experiences a certain degree of stress daily. The amount of stress felt usually depends on the individual's reaction to and perception of the situation causing stress. A blood test can be routine for a diabetic who performs 3 or 4 blood tests daily, so they do not consider it to be stressful. Whereas another individual who is terrified of needles might feel extreme stress when a blood test is necessary. There are many causes of stress. It could be work, it could be jobs, it could be expectations of other people, relationships, family dynamics could cause it, overwork, negative feelings. And the picture there is what many teens, the stress that teens experience, relationships, fitting in at school, expectations that people have for you, trying to find what career to go into or what college to go to. Not all stress is harmful, though. A small amount of stress is essential to an individual's well-being. It makes a person more alert and raises their energy level. Individual is able to make quick judgments and decisions, becomes more organized, and is motivated to accomplish tasks and achieve goals. So how many of you maybe wait until the last minute to do a big assignment or to do homework? Do you feel like if you wait until the last minute, you're focused more to get it done and you don't waste as much time when you're trying to do it? Ways in which an individual responds to stressors determines whether the situation is helpful or harmful. If stress causes positive feelings, such as excitement, anticipation, self-confidence, and a sense of achievement, it is helpful. If stress causes negative feelings, such as boredom, frustration, irritability, anger, depression, distrust of others, self-criticism, emotional or physical exhaustion, and emotional outbursts, it is harmful. So a stress could be for somebody maybe playing a sports game or being in a tournament or giving a speech. But with that comes excitement, anticipation. You become more confident when you're able to do it. Whereas for somebody else, giving a speech may be a very negative stress for them. They feel sick, they have an upset stomach, they just had anxiety. So it's different for everybody. Negative stress can also lead to substance abuse. Individuals may smoke more, drink large amounts of alcohol, take drugs, or eat excessively. And really, does that help you deal with the stress? No, it doesn't. It probably gives you more stress as a result. Trying to find comfort and escape from negative feelings also is why it may lead to, or substance abuse. They may go to substance abuse trying to find comfort and escape from the negative feelings, but those feelings are still there. Prolonged periods of harmful stress can lead to burnout or a mental breakdown. For this reason, an individual must become aware of the stressors in his or her life and learn methods to control them. The first step is learning how to control stress. Is to identify the stressors. Recognize the symptoms of fight or flight. It leads to an awareness of the factors that cause these symptoms, and you can also keep a list or a diary of stressors to evaluate ways to deal with the stressors and or ways to eliminate them if possible. When stressful events occur, note what the event was, why you feel stressed, how much stress you experienced, and how you dealt with the stress. It helps you understand the level of stress you're comfortable with, the type of stress that motivates you effectively, and the type of stress that is unpleasant. So there is definitely a type of stress that motivates you. Like I said, some people prefer to wait until the last minute to do the homework, and then they're really motivated to get it done. Or maybe a good stress might be for somebody is to be in a tournament or a sports game that motivates them to do the best that they can. And then for others, that type of stress may be unpleasant for them. If chronic daily stressor is heavy traffic on the road to work, it may be time to consider the possibility of finding a new way to work, leaving earlier or late to avoid traffic, or finding a way to relax while stuck in traffic. Stressors are problems that must be solved or eliminated. So use the problem-solving method. You can gather information or data. So assess the situation to obtain all facts and opinions. Identify the problem. Try to identify what the real stressor is and why it is causing a reaction. List possible solutions. Look at all ways to eliminate or adapt to the stressor. It can include both good and bad ideas. Evaluate each idea and try to determine how effective it will be. Make a plan. After evaluating the solutions, choose one that you think will have the best outcome. Act on your solution. Use the solution to your problem to see if it has the expected outcome. Evaluate the results. Determine if the action was effective. Change the solution. If necessary, use a different solution that might be more effective. Learning to manage a stress reaction is another way of dealing with stressors. Use a 4-step plan to gain control. 1. Stop. Immediately stop what you're doing to break out of the stress response. Breathe. Take a slow, deep breath to relieve the physical tension you are feeling. Reflect. Think about the problem at hand and the cause of the stress. Choose. Determine how you want to deal with the stress. So here are some stress-reducing techniques. The best stress-reducing techniques are those that work for you. What do you enjoy doing? And doing that to help you relieve your stress. It could be reading. It could be running. It could be dancing. It could be going outside and playing basketball. It could be video games. It could be calling a friend and talking to them. It could be relaxing with a cup of tea or even a cup of coffee. So you find out what happens, what works for you. Another one there is to avoid too many commitments. It is okay to say no. You do not have to be on every group or committee that asks you to be in the group. I know sometimes in school it's hard. You do not have to play every sport. Sometimes you have to pick, if you have two sports that are going on at the same time that you both want to be in, you need to decide one, can you handle it? Is it going to be enjoyable for you to be in both sports, or is it going to cause you more increased stress and strain? So that's something to think about, and it's always okay to say no. During the holidays, Christmas is coming up. For some people, probably more your parents than you guys, but it can be a stressful time, the holidays. You have all these people you have to see and to get together and parties to get together. Maybe this year it's different because of COVID. Um, but sometimes it's okay to say no and just to stay home and to relax and to have that family time. Um, which again, that's more of your parents' decisions than your decisions, but something you can certainly talk to your parents about. If you feel like it's too much going every which way direction, just tell them that you would prefer if we had more time at home. So definitely look at those things that will help you to reduce your stress, and make sure you take time to do them daily. You will always have some stress, so it is important to be aware of the cause, learn how to respond, solve problems effectively, and practice techniques to reduce the effects of stress. Your stress does not decrease as you get older. You just have a different type of stress. In college, you'll have a different type of stress than you do in high school. And once you get and jobs create different types of stress. Being a parent creates different types of stress. So it's always out there. So it's best now to learn how to deal with stress effectively.